Hello. Do tarot cards kind of make you a little scared, a little freaked out? Or maybe you're just here because you want to see what tarot decks I use. But if you're any of those things, you are in the right place. I was talking to my friend the other day and she was saying how she really gets freaked out by tarot cards and they scare her. And I was totally that person at one time until I realized there are so many different kinds of tarot decks. So I'm going to be showing you 4 today that I think you will really like. And yeah, feel free to let me know, by the way, if you have a favorite tarot deck in the comments. It's always fun to kind of share that info around. Okay, we're going to start off with the first different kind of tarot deck I bought. It is the Akashic Tarot. And this one is really interesting. It is not a typical tarot deck. This one is the least typical of all the ones I'm going to show you today. And I did buy this because I was really working in the Akashic Records. This also, it has 62 cards, which is different. And the archetypes are not what you typically see. It does come with the guidebook. I do find the guidebook helpful. It has both the upright and reversed meanings, and then it also will have a little just a little like more thing to look into. So I'm just gonna pick a random, actually no, we'll do that later. Okay, this is what the back of the cards look like. They're a nice size, so I'm just gonna show you some of them. So King of Roses, you're gonna notice, so they don't even have the same typical like suits that a tarot deck has. There's keys here. There are forces. Then you've got like the major cards all do have like numbers, which is similar. Keys, like a major card 15. Roses. They have scrolls. More roses. Let's see if there's any other ones I really need to show you. We've got the Queen of Roses. So they're, what I really do like about these is I find it easier. There's a lot in the pictures. There's a lot that you can kind of see from the pictures, which I really like. You don't always feel like you have to grab the guidebook. I will say, like a typical tarot book or tarot guide or learning about typical tarot is not going to help you a lot with this deck, maybe with the numerology aspect of it. But it's very, very different. It is a tarot deck. It has all of those archetypes in it, but it is not the same as what you would see in a typical tarot deck. I'm just going to pull one card so I can show you kind of what the guidebook sounds like. Okay, so we have 4 of Keys, clearing the way. So I love this because it's kind of obvious like what's happening. There's an obstacle and it needs to be cleared, right? And then, at least for me, if it was reversed, it's like, okay, I cleared that obstacle. So I really like these. I just feel like you can see so much in the picture. So let's see if I can find that one. We've got roses, roses, forces, keys. Okay, 4 of Keys. Okay, so it talks about the upright version is that there's some obstruction in your way, that there needs to be action taking. The reversed is the way is being cleared, so it kind of goes into that. And then the little Akashic force that I wanted to read you, it says, with a deep breath, fill yourself with the strength of force and love that help you move any obstacle that blocks your path. Feel that love and power growing, gently moving through anything within and around you and freeing you completely. So it's just like a little, kind of like a little prompt thing for you to do that goes along with your card. But I absolutely love these. They are technically tarot cards, but they at the same time technically aren't. So these are just, there's so much in these cards, especially if you're looking for a deck to really help you see what you're not seeing and just really move through something. A lot, like this is really good for a lot of like inner work that you want to do. Love, love, love these cards. Okay, the next deck, I'm going to go in order from what I got next. Okay, I think this was my next one. Also love Modern Witch Tarot deck. So this one does have like that witchy kind of vibe. The guidebook is really small. I feel like she might have made a bigger guidebook after the fact that you can buy. Even though this is small, this is, I think, enough to get you started. And honestly, I like not using the guidebook a lot. So for me, this was perfect. I really just needed, there's just a few times where I need a little bit of something to go on, kind of. So this is the back. The one thing I have heard that people didn't like about this deck is that it's obvious when it's reversed, because the way the picture's on the back, this does not bother me. However, if you do read them like flipped around and everything, I don't know if that would bother you if when it came up you already knew it was going to be reversed. But they're glossy. These ones are really nice. I love the picture. So it's like, I don't know if it's all women in this or just mostly women. I think it's mostly women. I forget. But I love, it's like definitely for, I think the like who they're going for is like 20s and 30-year-olds, maybe really like 20s and 30s for like who this deck is really for, but it's for anyone. You don't have to be in your 20s or 30s, but I think that's just who it's kind of going for. So see, like it's not even the Hanged Man, it's the Hanged One, which is cool. They're all dressed really cool too. Like, look at this girl, like, right? So they're just really neat cards. They're pretty. They're like, even like this one, even though it's like, you know, heart being stabbed, it's still pretty. I'm not going to show you all of them, but let me just get to this one. I want to get to one that would, like, the scariest one to show you like how, like, even like this, like, look at her cute little witch hat and all the things up there. They also work in technology, which is kind of interesting. So like the Hermit, she's like shutting her computer, which is kind of interesting. They're all like celebrating. This one's like teeny creepy, that little thing like at the bottom, but still it's not like scary. It's definitely, okay, here's the Tower. So this is always like kind of a scary one, but even that, it's like, I mean, there's a lot happening. You know, she's kind of being stabbed on that rock, but it's like almost a little cartoony. And yeah, I'm just seeing if there's any more that definitely want you to see it. Yeah, even like, so here's I'm trying to find the scary ones just so you can like get a good feel. Even the Death card, right? It's like, I don't know. I really like the vibe of these cards. I think they're really fun. Yeah, I just think they're really fun and they're really pretty. I'll pull a quick card on this one too. This one, how many cards are in this deck? I know she made one extra card. 78. Okay, so this is normal. She has one extra though. That 10 of Swords, the one when she's laying down from the guidebook, it's like one says 10 of Swords and one says everything is fine. I think like this one. I think she made even like t-shirts and stuff. I think I've seen to like go with that. It's like everything is fine as you're being like stabbed by all these things. But in reality, it really is fine. Just all those outside things. Okay. Let's see. What wants us to just go a little further? Okay, we've got the Knight of Cups. So she's holding, what stands out to me is that empty cup. She's like moving forward, but she does have an empty cup, which is interesting. I did get to actually read from the guidebook for you, just so you kind of see how it's set up. Okay, Knight of Cups. So there's very little, like this is a really small book, so there's very little on each one. So Knight of Cups. This knight is confident, charming, and wonderful to be around. They instantly draw you in, but be aware that they're not focused on you. They're focused entirely on their cup and are constantly looking for those brand new feelings of love and passion. This is a relationship that won't last for long, as much as you'd like it to. If the knight is you, which I feel like might be us a lot, some of us in this reading, you've been chasing feelings a little too much and need to take the time to nurture your existing friendships and relationships. again, if something else came to you, not the guidebook, that could also be the message for you, or not at all. But I really, really do like this deck also. I think it's really fun. It's got like that witchy vibe, but it's also not like too witchy, if that's a thing. It's got like the modern clothes, and it's got some technology in it. Young people, so many women. Love it. Okay, this is the third one that I'm going to show you. The Green Witch Tarot. So this one is even a little witchier than that last one. This is kind of a big, I partially like that it came in this big thing, and partially it's like kind of like takes up a lot of room. But this guidebook is really good. I really did appreciate this guidebook. I thought they did a really good job on it. They have like the actual like picture in here. They have what it is. They have the meaning, and then they have the reverse meaning, and then they have prompt words, which I do find really helpful. This is inside, so like the cards are not that big. This is really only big to fit the guidebook. Okay, these cards are actually a little smaller than the other ones. So that's the back. And they're also glossy. These ones, it's different, but I do also like, they're kind of thinner too. I do like the pictures. But if you're not into the whole witchy vibe, you will not like these probably. But I do find there's also a lot to look in the pictures. There's like a lot to find. You don't need so much the guidebook as much. So this also, they don't call them like the typical things for tarot. So they have like chalices instead of the cups. There's a sun card. Don't you want to just go there? It's so pretty. Then we've got pentacles instead of, pentacle. Is this, do they call it pentacles? Yeah, pentacles. What do we got? Let's just see. Instead of swords. So just a little different. And then some of the major arcana are a little different too. So they do name them a little differently. But again, this is like, I don't know, to me they're so fun. It doesn't look scary. Let me see if I can find the quote unquote scary cards. Just, I know for me that was important for a while. It was like, am I going to be freaked out by these cards? Oops. But they're like, look how fun this one is. It's got all like the elementals around her. We've got wands. That even looks cool. This is a good sign if I'm flipping through all these and not finding scary cards for you, right? Here we go. Like, where's the tower card? This is like the tower card, right? That's in like most decks, the Wild Hunt. But even this, it's like, actually in this deck, I think this is more about like tower can always be about awakening, but I think they actually talk more about awakening. Is this the card? Okay. Nope, that's not the card I meant to share with you. So we're gonna shuffle these up. So these are really fun. Like I said, if you and they're called the Green Witch Tarot Companion. So if you kind of resonate with that like green witch, kind of earthy, like, you know, using like nature, that kind of thing, you might really like these. I was actually really sad when I'm not using these right now. I find that my guides want to use certain decks, and it's like, I did not use this deck for a very long time before they had me move on to another deck. But I really do like this deck. Okay. 7 of Chalices. This is the card I'll read for us. It's funny that I pulled this one out earlier. Okay, so let's see what she's all about. There's also notes in, is this, oh, do they have notes on all of them? No, so the major arcana, they actually have a page after where you can write your own notes, so you can make your own kind of guidebook for like what it means for you, because as you probably know, or maybe you don't, if you haven't been pulling cards for a while, a lot of times the guidebook is not what it means. You're meant to make like your own. Okay, so we've got the picture, we've got kind of a long thing about the card usually, or about what it probably is like saying to you, but I'm just going to read the short part at the bottom. So it says, meaning, many choices, opportunities, careful decision, deliberations, willpower to achieve goals, time to follow one's true desire. That's what the cups, the chalices are all representing. This deck you will find if you are used to other like quote unquote normal tarot decks, that will translate pretty well to this deck also. There's same with this. If you're used to other tarot decks, this will translate. Like you'll understand this deck if you understand other tarot decks. And the prompt words are just opportunities and choose carefully. So this would be coming up like upright if you had a lot of opportunities that were around. This could be opportunities for relationships, jobs, anything, business ventures. So you have lots of opportunities, but you just want to pick which one is most aligned for you. So that one I also really love and is really fun. Last deck, this is my newest one, and it's very different than the other ones. This is has that galactic kind of feel. That I'm actually going to read what it says on the back. This is the guidebook that comes with it. It says the Starchild Tarot, an intuitive tool that connects with your innermost realms and higher self. This 79 card deck, so they usually have 78 cards, explores the ancient traditions of the tarot through a multi-dimensional journey of consciousness and awakening. As above, so below. So I do really like this guidebook also. I don't use it all the time, but they do have the message. They have additional meanings. They have the reversed message. And at the bottom, they have these like additional keys. Let's see if I can get that for you, which is kind of neat. So it'll tell you what chakra, what gemstones, what astrology stuff, symbols, and what guides go along with it. Okay, so look how pretty, the Starchild Tarot. I feel like this one might have been a little more expensive, but I do really like it. We are all stardust. This is one like Akashic. So this is also kind of has that Akashic Records feel. It does have a card that literally says Akashic Records in it, just like this one. Tell what I'm drawn to. So these are extremely pretty. That's the back. They're all, there's gold. They're like gold plated. Where are we going? Where are we going to show you that? Gold plated. There we go. They are like a nice size, kind of like, I would say smaller than some decks. And they're not shiny, but they're like thick, like a good thickness. This is why it's probably more expensive. It does feel really nice. Okay. So this one's also different. It doesn't have the typical tarot thing. So there's crystals. These ones are extremely pretty. We've got wands. We've got, this would be one of the major arcana, perspective. 7 of crystals. So let's see, we've got wands, I showed you already, wands. We do have cups in this one. I don't know if anyone else, my hand like just is not always steady. There's lots of women in these. There's also men, but I do find there's more women, and they're just like so pretty. I think I don't know if she has another tarot deck or an oracle deck, but it's like the same kind of imagery, like a little high priestess card. I just think these are so pretty. These ones, I will say, I have to peek at the guidebook a little more than I do on the other cards, because they don't always tell me what they mean. Like this, for example, like 2 of crystals, I'm like, what is this telling me? There's not a lot of picture to go on some of them. Some of them there are, like, you know, there you could read more into like, okay, what's actually happening? What is she doing in this picture? Here's a strength card. But some of them are not not quite as obvious. Temperance. So it does have a lot of the like quote unquote normal tarot pieces. But then it also has just some that are different. So instead of the, I'm going to double check. I don't think this deck has the Tower. It's like just straight up awakening. I love this card. So even that, like this deck, I don't think has any quote unquote scary. I don't think you could make any of these look scary. They're all like, so I think this might be the scariest one. She looks like she's out to get you. But I think that's, like, look at this, look at the star seed. So if you're kind of like resonate with any of, I mean, the Akashic records, galactic records, anything in the cosmos, like transformation, oh, it does have a tower. There we go. Here's a tower. But again, it's like awakening energy. It's not like people jumping off tower energy. Okay, doesn't have the tower. I couldn't remember. But they're just so, look at this one. Ace of Crystals. It's funny, I have a crystal cluster that looks exactly like that. Any other ones I need to show you? There's a lot of like Egyptian symbology in here too. Or like this one, Two of Cups. Look how pretty. Oh gosh, we're hitting 20 minutes. Okay, let's wrap this up. I was like, I'm gonna make a short video. It's so much easier said than done. Okay, we're gonna pick one card. I'll read you the book and then we will stop here. Oh, hold on. Got a child over here waiting for me to be done. Okay, let's see. What card wants to be seen for us today? Three of Swords. Okay, Three of Swords. So she's kind of got that ball in between. She's got swords all around her. Let's see what the guidebook has to say for us. Swords. Okay. So I'm just gonna show you. I'm not gonna read like this whole thing. I'm just gonna read kind of a little bit. I'll just get the gist of this in additional meetings. So, yeah, so this could mean heartbreak, obstacles, redirection of negative forces, sacrifice, loss, learning, and healing. So what the main thing is, like from these experiences, when we have these darker, denser experiences, clarity, there's the potential for clarity and new opportunities. So really just focusing not on the negative aspects and just remembering that we have the power to rise above these shadows to reach a higher state of being. So that's if it's upright. If it's reversed, I feel like it's going to be 50-50 for us. If it's reversed, that's saying you're emerging out of that negative phase and there's like the light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to move forward. You've acknowledged your pain and now we can process it into like a learning love experience. And just more will reveal itself for you to heal. So that one, if that feels like that's for you, really focusing, my child, really focusing on the positive, really just seeing like noticing what it is, but then knowing that this is going to transform into something beautiful. Okay, so those are my 4 tarot decks that I really, really love that are a little different than your typical decks. I do have like some of the Rider-Waite, like traditional tarot decks, because everyone at the beginning, when I watched on YouTube, I feel like they don't say this anymore, but when I was watching on YouTube, when I was looking, it was like, you need to buy the Rider-Waite, you need to learn on the Rider-Waite deck, and then you can like learn other decks. I would say BS, because buy a deck that you actually like the pictures of, or you're not going to resonate with the deck and you're not going to like it and you're not going to want to learn and you could get creeped out by it. Especially if you're someone that clicked on this video, you probably get creeped out by some tarot decks. So really just pay attention. Like, do you want like pretty cosmic kind of like Starchild looking pictures? Do you like kind of like the witchy feel, maybe like especially like the modern witchy feel? I find this one's easier to read than most. It's kind of like in a little ethereal Akashic Records tarot feel without feeling like a typical tarot deck. There are so many options. Like there's cat tarot decks, there's everything. You can definitely find a tarot deck that's going to fit you. Just because it's tarot does not mean it's like scarier than oracle cards or anything weird. You can learn so much healing, and so much clarity can come from using tarot decks. I do teach courses on how I personally use oracle and tarot cards intuitively in my daily practice for spiritual, just how I go about my journey. I do that. Don't mind my child over here. And you can unlock one of those for free. I have one course that I allow to be unlocked for free. Is the Connecting with Spirit Guides course. My only caveat that I always like to say with that is it might unlock for you right away, or you might need to do some other steps before that, like working with cards or working with Reiki or who knows what. I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you liked one of the decks, if you have your own favorite deck, if you resonated with any of the cards we pulled. I always love to hear that, and I will see you in the next one.